It got chaotic at a House hearing. Democrat lawmakers forced into recess twice over some wild accusations made against Republicans. Here's one instance from Dem Rosa Delauro on a bill that would cut funding for 3 LGBTQ community centers.
Is there no limit on how low you will go to break the faith and trust which this committee is supposed to operate, all to placate the whims of some who, I might add, in looking historically, do not ever vote for appropriations bills? You are negotiating with terrorists.
Ooh. Delauro later agreed to withdraw those remarks. Tomi Lahren now, OutKick host. Your reaction?
Well, first of all, I give her points for her theatrics. I mean, it was very dramatic. I thought I was watching maybe a high school play there. But moving beyond that, actually looking at this for what it was here, you know, for so many years now, we've heard Democrats especially tell us that we need to tone down the rhetoric because it's causing problems in the real world when we see our Congress people saying things like she just said. And part of this amendment to this bill about the LGBTQ centers, she's saying that if they have this amendment and they strip federal funding, that's going to endanger LGBTQ people. But then she went ahead and called a Republican colleague a terrorist. What message does that send to her constituents and the people of America? So if she's trying to make a point here, I don't think that she made it. I'm glad that she herself wanted these words stricken from the record. But as we just played it, it lives on, and she said it, and you don't just get to call people terrorists because they disagree with you.
100%. But I think there must be some sort of list. You and I have talked about some of the words that must be on it, that when you make your point as a Democrat, make sure you bring up race and racism and extremism and all of that against your political opponents, whether it's warranted, whether it's even on subject or not. Anyway, the Barbie movie is getting mixed reviews. One critic calls it straight up anti-man screed. A Daily Mail review says it's a, quote, cultural revenge vehicle designed to write men out of the story altogether. Every male character is either an idiot, a bigot, or a sad, rather pathetic loser. If the roles were reversed and a male director made a film about how all women were hysterical, neurotic, gold-digging witches, it would be denounced, quite rightly, as deeply offensive and sexist. Tomi.
All right, so I want to be honest with you, Harris. I think that some of the criticisms of the Barbie movie are going a little bit far. At the end of the day, it is a movie. But I will say this. The problem with modern-day feminists and feminism is they don't really have a message, right? They don't know what women are. They don't stand up for women in women's spaces. But when it comes to a movie like this that you would think maybe would have some feminist undertones here, they think that they are preaching empowerment by making men look weak and dumb or sexist or bigoted. And I don't know that that's the message that feminists really should be sending, especially to young girls. You don't have to make men look bad to make women look better. You can make both parties look good, and that's true empowerment here. So I will say that I'm sure that there are some undertones of that in this film. However, I think that some of the criticisms might be taken a little too far. At the end of the day, it's a movie for entertainment about a doll.
Yeah, and the market will decide. If people don't show up, they can tell you why they didn't go or why they didn't like it, and they're telling other people not to go. All right, CNN is getting flack for obsessing over imagery of special counsel Jack Smith picking up a sandwich at Subway.
Turns out even Jack Smith can't resist a $5 footlong. What is important is the imagery here. They clearly wanted us to see him, and that image to be very different from what we saw in the former president's post, which is that he's a deranged individual.
Jack Smith going to Subway today is a message to Donald Trump. Donald Trump tries to intimidate people. He tries to bully people. He tries to scare you away. That was Jack Smith with no words and a simple $5 sub in his hand saying, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to fight you off, and I'm coming, Mr. Trump, with my sandwich? Anyway, that deranged reference that they were just talking about was about former President Trump on Truth Social when he first posted the words deranged Jack Smith while announcing he had gotten a letter from the special counsel that he is a target of the January 6th investigation. Tomi, I'm mad and I'm coming at you with a sandwich.
I mean, it's so hard to take these other cable networks seriously when they spend so much time talking about how a sandwich makes you look strong or it puts you in a different light than the former president. But again, if eating a Subway sandwich makes him look strong, how come they've spent so long criticizing Donald Trump every time he enters a fast food restaurant or eats McDonald's or talks about Diet Coke? So they can't have their cake and their Subway sandwich and eat it too.
True.
But this just goes to show anybody that is even seemingly anti-Trump at any facet, the media adores, they love, they just absolutely pour over. And they're making Jack Smith somehow their anti-hero because he's eating a Subway sandwich. They also went on to say they weren't sure if it was a 6-inch or a foot long. So I guess the verdict is still out on that one. I'm expecting breaking news at CNN at any moment to clarify.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.